Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys the Series Speculation Theory video. In this video I want to talk about Ash's team in this series. More specifically, I want to talk about what else he might catch in the future, and I also want to talk about what his team might look like in the near future. I already made a video like this a few months ago, but a lot has changed since then. Several new episodes have aired, new leaks and rumors have surfaced, so I thought that it would be good to make another video like this that has the latest information, meaning that this is basically an update to that previous video, since I will go over some of the same things but with newer information, and I will also discuss new things that were not featured in that video because I made the video before those things happened or surfaced. So, let's get to it. Now, the first thing I want to discuss is Ash's team currently. Back when I made the first Ash's team video, his team was this: Pikachu, Dragonite, Gengar, and Riolu. I did exclude Mr. Mime even though Ash used Mr. Mime to battle in episode 7, because Mr. Mime has not been used by Ash since then and it has instead remained at Sakuragi or Ceres Institute doing its usual duties as caretaker. So I listed Ash's team for the new series as just these four. Of course, now his team looks like this because of its newest member, Galarian Farfetch'd, which Ash caught in episode 27. This is a capture I did not see coming for Ash, and so I did not mention it in the previous Ash's team video. Ash catching Farfetch'd took me completely by surprise, but this is Ash's team as it stands currently. A total of 5 Pokemon when you count Pikachu. However, if you count only new captures, then he has caught 4 Pokemon so far in this new series. In my last Ash's team video, I mentioned that he always catches at least 5 Pokemon per series, which allows him to have a full team with Pikachu included. He did this in Hoenn, Kalos, and Alola. However, this is the minimum amount and not his limit. In Johto and Sinnoh, he caught a total of 6 Pokemon. In Unova, he caught 9 Pokemon. And in Kanto, he caught 10 Pokemon if you exclude his extra Tauros and the Pokemon he caught in the Orange Island. This means that Ash will catch at least one more Pokemon in this new series, but it is possible he will catch more, which is what I think will happen, given that this series focuses on all the regions, and Ash keeps his current team at Sakuragi or Ceres Park. From here, he can call upon them when needed. He has them in rotation, which is what he did in Unova. So now let's talk about what else he might catch in the future. The first Pokemon I want to talk about are the same two that I started with in the last Ash's team video, Grookey and Sobble. Prior to making the previous Ash's team video, I made a video exclusively about Ash catching Grookey and Sobble, and I have mentioned that Ash will catch Grookey and Sobble in several other videos. Of course, in the end, Go was unfortunately the one that ended up catching Sobble instead of Ash, which means that my prediction was partially wrong. I say partially because Grookey is still up for grabs. Now, I am still proud of my Ash will catch Grookey and Sobble video because most of what I talked about in that video is still true, and Ash catching Grookey and Sobble was the most likely outcome. Go catching Sobble is really an irregularity and it goes against the norm. I also did mention in that video that one possible outcome was that Ash would catch just one of the 2 starters, and that he was most likely to get Grookey if that was the case because Grass is the starter type that Ash owns the most of. He has all of them except for Chespin. However, I believe that the other starter would be caught by Koharu or Chloe if she does end up becoming a trainer instead of Go, since he already had one Galar starter Pokemon. Of course, Koharu has not become a trainer yet. I think that she still will in the future, but she won't be catching any starters, or at least I don't think so, since only Grookey is left and chances are Ash will catch it, because he always catches at least one starter Pokemon per generation or series. This is the first of the 3 absolute rules of starters which I presented in my Ash will catch Grookey and Sobble video. These 3 rules were sacred, and they had never been broken before, but rule number 3 was broken when Go caught Sobble because Ash was the only main character that could own more than one starter of the current generation or series, and now Go also enjoys that privilege. This means that it is possible that rule number 1 could be broken as well, and Ash will not catch any starter Pokemon. So now I want to present these 2 images which I will be referencing several times throughout the video. These images are for a Pokemon Choco Egg set, and you can see that Grookey is listed at the top between Sobble and Scorbunny, all 3 of which are listed next to Go. Could this be hinting that Go will catch all three Galar starters? This becomes more apparent when you notice that at the bottom, Mr. Mime, Dragonite, Gengar, Lucario, and Farfetch'd are listed, and they are listed in the order that Ash caught them. Lucario and Farfetch'd are, of course, Pokemon that Ash does not own currently, but this does hint that he will in the future, which is what I would expect. So Ash's Pokemon are listed at the bottom, in order, and the last square is a black space in one image and a question mark in the other. I assume that this means that Ash's fifth capture and sixth party member belongs in this space, and it is currently an enigma, but more on this later. As far as Grookey goes, if Ash was to catch it, then it would make sense for Grookey to be at the bottom of the image after Sirfetch'd. Since it is at the top alongside the other starters, which are all next to Go, it could mean that Go will catch Grookey as well, which is something I definitely don't want to see. I guess it does make sense that Go would catch Grookey so that he can have the whole trio, but again, I hope that this will not happen. This image does not guarantee that Go will catch Grookey, of course, and it is interesting that the starters are listed in a weird order, because they are not in Pokedex order since Scorbunny is listed first, and they are not in catch order since Sobble is listed after Grookey, so the order makes no sense. The starters could just be listed together because they are the starters, and they are listed first because starters are always at the start of their regional Pokedex. So this placement does not mean that Go will catch all of them, though again, I do wonder why they are ordered like this. So, what's Grookey's fate? I'm not sure, to be honest. Ash has always caught at least one starter per generation or series. Grass is the starter type he owns the most, and Grookey does appear in the second ending theme alongside Riolu and Duskform Lycanroc, which are two Pokemon that Ash owns. So it is still possible that Ash will catch Grookey. The mysterious last spot on these images could be filled by another Pokemon that Ash will catch next, which could be why Grookey is not listed in this spot and is listed above instead, because it's obvious that all the Galar starters will be caught in the future as per the second absolute rule, which is sure to remain unbroken. So I think that Ash can still catch Grookey, and if he does, then Grookey is sure to evolve twice into Rillaboom. In my Ash will catch Grookey and Sobble video, I went over the chances of them evolving under Ash's ownership. I covered every single possible evolution permutation I could think of, going by Ash's past starters. I am not going to go over all of them here because it would take too long, and especially because Ash did not catch Sobble, which makes some of the speculation irrelevant. What I will say is that if Ash catches only one starter, then that starter reaches its final form. Hoenn and Kalos are the only two prior regions where Ash caught only one starter, and in both cases, the starter in question reached its final form. If Ash catches Grookey, then I think that Rillaboom is inevitable. Now, Grookey could still be caught by Go given the placement in these images, and given that he caught Sobble, so he now owns two of the Galar starters, but there is less evidence to back this up when compared to Ash. Koharu or Chloe could also catch Grookey if she does become a trainer, which I think is an even bigger possibility now after episodes 29 and 31. Especially because Yamper is also listed on these images alongside several other Pokemon that don't belong to Ash or Go currently, meaning that perhaps Koharu might catch them. But Koharu catching Grookey is the least likely outcome. Now, before I move on to the next topic, I want to say that even though I have mentioned several times that Go caught Sobble and that Ash did not catch Sobble, I still have hope that Ash will get Sobble in the future. Go is quick to give up and he loses heart quickly. He is not willing to work harder to push himself for his Pokemon. He did not give Scorbunny his support in episode 17 when Scorbunny wanted to learn a fire type move. Go almost released Raboot in episode 22 because Raboot was being cold and distant. Go was also second guessing himself after catching Sobble in episode 28. So it is possible that Go will relinquish Sobble in the future and Ash will catch it then. In fact, episode 33 is currently titled as Would You Like to Do a Pokemon Trade? Maybe it will happen in this episode? It's possible. I originally believed that this episode would have to do with episode 31, which was listed as Feebas's Beautiful Scale, well before it aired. Feebas evolves into Milotic when it's traded holding a Prism Scale. So I figured that maybe Go or Ash could catch this Feebas, which would then be traded in episode 33 so that it could evolve. Of course, episode 31 aired, and this did not happen. I have seen a lot of people that say that Go will trade his Scyther so that it can evolve into Scizor, and that could very well happen. So maybe Sobble won't be traded to Ash in this episode, which I guess makes sense since it is perhaps too early for that to happen. And Ash does not have any Pokemon he would be willing to trade. Or at least I hope he doesn't trade any of his Pokemon, unless he catches something random just for the trade. So, Go will probably end up trading with someone else. Even if Ash does not get Sobble in episode 33, I will not lose hope of it happening later down the line. So next, I want to quickly touch on the other prospective captures I talked about in my previous Ash's team video. First is this image from the first ending team that predicted Ash's team up to Riolu. I mentioned in my previous video that this last circle remained a mystery, and that is still the case. None of these Pokemon save for Yamper have appeared in the new series, nor has any of them been hinted at in any leaks or rumors, and they do not appear in these images either. Again, not counting Yamper. Comfey does appear next to Yamper in the second ending theme, which is why I think that this circle hints at what Koharu or Chloe will catch instead of what Ash will catch, which makes sense when you consider that this circle is noticeably separated from the rest. However, this can only happen if Koharu becomes a trainer, which has not happened yet, and the first ending theme was last used in episode 19. Would it really hint at something that will happen 20 plus episodes later? But by that logic, this circle would be useless then, so it has to hint at something. I have shown this image in several videos before, and a lot of viewers have commented on it. The most popular opinions are that Ash will either catch Magmar or that his Pignite will return. I think that both of these are possible, and I have made the distinction in the past that this circle has a Pokemon Ash actually owns, as opposed to one he owns an evolutionary relative of, so maybe this distinction indicates that Pignite will return, but this is speculation, of course. In the end, this final circle is still a mystery, and I am very eager to finally learn what it ultimately hints at. Next up are Latias and Tyranitar, which are the last two I discussed in my previous Ash's Team video. These two are completely based off rumors. I normally don't like to discuss rumors or leaks unless there is factual evidence from the anime that I can use to back up why the rumors or leaks could be true. The reason why I discussed Ash catching Latias or Tyranitar in the last video is that there is factual evidence from the anime to support these two catches. In the case of Latias, the factual evidence is the fifth Pokemon movie, Pokemon Heroes. Latios and Latias play a big role in that movie, and Ash ends up befriending Latias to the point that Latias was very affectionate with Ash. She had a crush on him, much like Ash's Bayleaf. Most Pokemon movies are not canon, but this one apparently is, since Ash recognizes Latios immediately when he fights Tobias at the Sinnoh League. This means that the bond Ash shared with Latias did happen, so it could lead into Ash catching Latias. Ash catching a legendary Pokemon does sound impossible, but he did catch a mythical Pokemon, and he befriended Nevi, a legendary Pokemon. So, Ash catching a legendary Pokemon might not be as impossible as it appears. Tobias is rumored to return, which could mean that Ash has a chance at settling the score. It was Tobias's Latios that defeated Ash in the end, and what better way to fight the Eon Pokemon than with another Eon Pokemon? Now, in Tyranitar's case, Ash traveled with a Larvitar for several episodes during the Johto saga. However, Ash did not actually own Larvitar. He never officially captured it. In the end, Ash left Larvitar with its mother Tyranitar at Mount Silver. Ash definitely deserved to catch this Larvitar, and yet he didn't. It's possible that Ash might catch a Tyranitar to make up for this, meaning that Ash will get a Pokemon he should have gotten in the past. Larvitar's situation mirrors that of the Haunter Ash traveled with during the Kanto saga, whom he left with Sabrina. So Haunter is another Pokemon Ash should have caught, but he didn't. Ash caught Gengar in this new series, which gives him a Pokemon he deserved to get long ago. This new series has been giving Ash Pokemon he missed out on in previous series. Pokemon he deserved to get, and so it's possible that he will get Tyranitar too because of this. Since he is traveling to every region, it is possible that Ash could travel to Mount Silver in the Johto region where he will meet up with the same Larvitar, who is now a Tyranitar. And now we're back to these images. What could Ash's fifth capture and sixth team member be? What Pokemon belongs in that last unknown spot? Well, it could be any of the Pokemon I discussed in this video, honestly. It's worth noting that this last square that presumably represents Ash's next capture is blacked out in one of the images and has a question mark placeholder in the other image. This means that this Pokemon is being deliberately hidden for some reason, which is unusual considering that most other leaks just show the Pokemon as is. This means that this could be a special Pokemon. It's also worth noting that one of the images features Pokeballs behind the Pokemon. These Pokeballs are all standard Pokeballs with the top half being red. However, the final spot has its upper half colored purple instead. A Pokeball with its upper half being purple can only mean the Master Ball, the strongest Pokeball in existence. Could Ash get a Master Ball in the future which he could then use to catch his next Pokemon? It's possible, but the different color on this Pokeball could also be an aesthetic choice. Maybe it is a different color to further indicate that this is a special Pokemon. There are three possibilities I can think of. The first possibility is that this could be a new Pokemon or Pokemon form for Ash, like his Dusk form Lycanroc. Leaks for the Sun and Moon series that referred to Ash as Lycanroc were also question marks at first, which kept this new form hidden. So maybe Ash will get a new Pokemon form or a new Pokemon entirely that does not exist yet anywhere else. This is certainly something worth keeping under wraps for now. The second possibility is that it could be a legendary or mythical Pokemon. A Pokemon of this caliber could be kept secret since Ash catching one of these would be a big deal. If the different color on the Pokeball does indicate the Master Ball, then it would tie into this since the Master Ball is usually saved for legendary or mythical Pokemon most of the times in the games. So this could be the previously discussed Latias or perhaps something else entirely. The third possibility is that one of Ash's old Pokemon will return and said Pokemon will join his team. Pignite and Lycanroc both appear in the ending themes. Melmetal and Greninja have been long rumored to return, so maybe one of them will. It is worth noting though that this would be very unusual because Ash's old Pokemon have only returned in the past for league tournaments and special battles. Charizard and Phanpy were the only ones that actually rejoined his team for a good while, and this happened in what was essentially the epilogue of that generation since they both returned after the Pokemon League tournament. This means that it is possible that one of his old Pokemon will return to fill in the sixth slot in his team, but it is something that would in theory happen much later, going by the previous examples. Of the four I mentioned before, Greninja is the most interesting because Ash does not actually own Greninja since he officially released it into the wild. So Ash would have to catch Greninja again, which means that Ash would indeed be catching another Pokemon. So I would say that Greninja is the most likely to return, though Greninja would conflict with Riolu if it does get a special form, since Ash would have two overpowered Pokemon with special transformations. The return of one of Ash's old Pokemon is something that would be kept hidden. In the end, there are a ton of different possibilities, and until we get more information, we can only speculate, and this is all of the theories I could come up with. So now let's take a look at Ash's team once again. What could it look like in the near future? I added the mysterious Pokemon since it's very likely that Ash will catch it even if its identity remains a mystery. I also added Grookey because it's likely that Ash will catch it as well. The other Pokemon I discussed are excluded because they are still very much speculation, including Sobble. If Ash does catch Grookey, then it will evolve into Riolu as it would be Ash's only starter for this series. Riolu and Farfetch'd are both going to evolve because they both want to be strong, and I doubt they would remain unevolved. These images also back this up. Ash will battle Bea in episode 34, and he will use Riolu in that battle. It is very possible that Riolu will evolve in this episode, but we will have to wait and see. It is very likely that Riolu will go on to gain a special form or transformation beyond Lucario. I made an entire video dedicated to this, so I will not dive too deep into this now. Links for that video will be included in the description below and at the end of the video. So this is the current future I foresee for Ash's team. Now one last thing before I end the video is that there is a pattern to Ash's capture so far. He caught Dragonite in episode 10, he then caught Gengar in episode 16, which is 6 episodes later. He caught Riolu in episode 21, which is 5 episodes later, and then he caught Farfetch'd in episode 27, which is 5 episodes later once again. So 6, 5, 6. and Ash has to catch 5 Pokemon to complete a team of 6 with Pikachu. So I thought maybe Ash will catch his next Pokemon 5 episodes after Farfetch'd. 5 episodes after episode 27 is episode 32, which has been listed for a while as Celebi, a timeless promise. So I thought maybe Ash will catch Celebi? This would tie into the question mark and presumed Master Ball in these images, but I felt that this was very much a stretch, and indeed it seems that it is, since the preview for episode 32 shows that the episode will focus on Go and a friend of his from when he was younger. I mentioned this here at the end because while it is interesting, it is ultimately a stretch, and I am probably just looking too hard, trying to find anything that points to Ash's future captures, so that I can speculate the best that I can. And that is everything I have for you in this video. Please remember that everything I discussed in this video is mostly speculation, but it is speculation based on facts and leaks, so they are all possible outcomes, and I can't wait to see what ends up happening. I will be sure to make more videos like this in the future once new information surfaces and once new things happen in the anime itself. But that's the video. As always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.